My goodness, those are some attractive actors. Welcome to Voice of the Fat Mantis and my review of Episode 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, found only on Paramount Plus. Before we get into it, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe. Also, possibly leave a comment. Other ways to support the Fat Mantis and all I do here on the channel is follow me on some of these social medias. Links are down in the descriptions. So getting into the second episode of Strange New Worlds. Interestingly enough, instead of being Pike-centric, they decide to move the camera over to another crew member. In this case, the cadet known as Uhura. Yes. I greatly love this, as we all know that the real Trek, classic Trek, and next generation age Trek is ensemble centric, meaning that everyone gets a turn at bat at being the main character of their own story. However, Discovery and Picard completely eliminated this format of standard Trek and just focusing on one character, Michael Byrne or Jean-Luc Picard. I love Picard, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. But however, I do like that we're seeing different angles, and I gotta say, I did not praise her last episode, and I should have. I know in my trailer review of Strange New Worlds, I was highly critical of Uhura, particularly her look, but actually seeing this actress, she has a glow to her and energy. I actually declared Uhura, the original, as the queen of feminine beauty and grace. And I actually believe that this actress right here, Cecily Rose Gooding, is absolutely embodying that. She's completely pulling it off, and I love it. I loved her in this, and I gotta say, however, that does lead to a complaint about the episode. I would say this was a good episode. I was mesmerized throughout it, and it's just fun to have normal Trek back in the works. But I do think there was a little writing snafu, which we'll get into in a minute. Now, we also get to see a blossoming little relationship that I think is going to take off. I have a feeling that Spock and Nurse Chapel are going to have a thing. I think there's going to be a love triangle between them and his fiancée back on Vulcan, and I really can't wait to see how that goes. I gotta say, I am really liking Nurse Chapel. My major complaint about this series is she is not in enough scenes. I'm just saying. We have an episode that goes back to actually the age of exploration, dropping a lot of the drama and just having, once again, another one-off where the cadet learns how to blossom as a member of Starfleet. We even get her doing her little cadet's log, which was adorable. When they're in the comet and they discover that her singing, she's like humming Hakuna Matata, as it sounds like. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Ultimately activates the comet, but also the egg-like thing in the middle of the room. And I have to say that my first major complaint is it activates it. It begins to glow. Mystical stuff is happening. And the egg starts to crack open, and it opens, and the panels fall off. And I say to myself, what's coming out of there? Is it an animal? Some sort of beast? One of those aliens? A super alien? But it was nothing. The things cracked over and nothing came out of it. Nothing special came out of it, was the point. Which was my first disappointment of the episode. I said, you do not have a mystical egg that eventually cracks and not show us some sort of creature inside. I don't understand the direction of that situation. And then my second complaint is at the end, the person who solves the day is Spock. They give the heroic moment to Spock, which it's a minor complaint because it was a great episode. But I actually think in terms of the way the story it was written, it should have been Uhura. Now, I understand they wouldn't put Uhura, a cadet, in such harm's way. I mean, obviously, that is a very dangerous mission. What if she were to mess up on her shuttling? So I do think that the writers should have arranged it for her that Uhura figures out how to use the heat shielding to lower the mass of the comet and ultimately save the day. She should have had that heroic moment. It was taken away. And I'm worried that even though they're going to do character-centric things, it does seem like the characters they really want to focus on are Pike and Spock. And I love it. I absolutely do love it. However, I have to say that Mr. Spock had 30 plus years of being our main source of Trek entertainment. The focus and the spotlight has been on him for long enough. I think it's time to show other people. I want to see the other heroes of the United Federation of Planets, and I think this was a missed opportunity to allow Uhura to seize her destiny. So ultimately, I can't give this the best review. I'm going to give this a B+, which is still good. I still really enjoyed the episode, and I can't wait to see more. So ultimately, I thought this was a very good episode. You're gonna love it if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you're watching a spoiler review if you haven't. That's a little shady. But it's an amazing time, and I'm fully invested and on board, and I can't wait to see what Hammer, Nurse Chapel, and a bunch of other people actually bring to the table. Actually, this episode, we also got to see Ortega do her thing, which was also pretty fun. She's kind of a badass character, and so far, there isn't a single cast member that I don't like. So I can't wait to see. Now I'm hoping that next episode is a Hammer and Mabenga episode. That would be pretty cool, and that means we'll get to see more of Nurse Chapel. Now, before I sign off, I got to say something that didn't end up in my last video. It's actually strange. It actually accidentally got edited out. While it was clipping lulls in my speech, I accidentally took out a part that I really loved of my video, so we got to talk about it. At the beginning of Strange New Worlds Episode 1, Captain Pike is watching an old movie, and I hope this premise stays up, and he's watching The Day the Earth Stood Still. And in The Day the Earth Stood Still, it's the story of a alien who comes to Earth and gets hunted by people. He sees the ravages of war. He sees how horrible the police system is, how crime and punishment is treated, and how people on Earth treat strangers or those who are different. At the end, while they're chasing this alien through the entire thing, it's time for him to leave. And how does he resolve? Instead of just leaving the savage humans, he stops in front of all these cameras and he speaks to them about their wicked ways. He explains that in his galactic federation that they have a robotocracy where they have robots that will harshly punish you for violent acts, and they are watching over you. And he says, and you don't want to end up like us, learning the hard way of what violence does. You need to forsake your wicked ways if you want to reach the stars and evolve to your next level, which we aliens have done. And then he goes, peace, and he's out. They don't go into that. You have to actually know that movie and know that ending. But that is what Pike decides to do at the end of episode 1. He's just like, I'm going to do what that movie did. Because he was just watching. It was fresh in his head. To reveal himself to be an alien and to give them a message. Beware. Beware that evilness will lead to destruction. I really liked it. Now, I know there was some controversy about that actual particular scene, particularly a clip they put in the video reel he gave the aliens. I'm not here to comment on that. Obviously, I think people feel strongly about it. Personally, it doesn't really bother me that much. It's sci-fi, and they're trying to predict the future. It's a tough job. No one sees the future. Except for the Fat Mantis, the future of entertainment. So there you have it, guys. There's my review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Episode 2, The Children of the Comet. What did you think of The Children of the Comet? Did Uhura miss out on her heroic moment that the writers owed her? Please let me know down in the comment. Who's your favorite character? And do you agree with me? Are these not beautiful cast of space travelers? I mean, honestly, man, it's basically, you know, they're like models or something. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Voice of the Fat Mantis. Follow me on social media. And as always, any support you can give me, even if it's a sly comment down in the comment section, I appreciate y'all. But anyway, that's all the news that's fit to print. Until next time, ciao for now.